Hello, today is Saturday morning, March 20th, 2010. Basically what I have here is just a small video of the tomatoes and the method that I use to plant them. First of all, I'm really into paper pots, such as this. They really degrade well in the soil, and of course you can order a newspaper pot maker from Burpee Seed. Of course, I have my pot here. It makes a good base. Also, they really come apart in the soil so that the roots are able to grow through them. And with peat pots, I've had a lot of trouble with them not forming up so well. Not allowing the roots to go through, and they stay hard. And basically, I just don't want that for my garden. Anyway, I've got my paper pot made here, and I filled it half full of dirt, and the reason for that is so I can transplant my seedlings out of my seedling tray into these little pots and then plant them directly into the soil. So what I'm planting here is homestead tomatoes, and so what I'm going to do is, I know I'm going to have 3 homestead tomatoes that I'm going to keep, but because not all of them are going to come up, I'm going to plant more than 3. I'm going to plant more like 15, and that's basically what I've done here with the cherry tomatoes. I've let them get up to a certain height and then put them in the pot, such as that. And here's my method. I just take either a pencil. Now this is a little thermometer, but it doesn't matter, and I make a little hole in my soil by 1/4 inch deep. I'll drop my seed in there and reach in and pinch the dirt together around it. Now I usually water my dirt before I put the seeds into the dirt, because if the water goes on it too quickly, it might wash the seed right out of the hole that you just put it in. So my dirt's basically pretty moist. Okay, and once the plants come up, for example in my cherry tomato here, there's going to be a couple of things I'm going to be looking for in the selection of my tomatoes. Now, it's of course up to personal choice what you do, but this is my method. And I'll put the camera on micro view so I can just get right in here. Now, of course, you're going to have your initial leaves, which of course this leaf here and this one here. Now, I'm not too awfully concerned with that, but the main leaf, which is the first one here, the one right in the middle, that's what's going to form into your major leaves while the first initial leaves fall off. And basically all I do, for example with this cowhorn pepper here, I'm going to reach around the plant like such, and I'm going to put my fingers in the dirt and pull the soil and the plant out. And then I'm going to go over to my paper pot maker, pots I've already made up, and deposit the plant into here. And then of course I'm going to pack the remainder of the soil that I need in here to fill it up to the top around here. And basically that's all there is to it. Now, there are a couple of things I'm going to suggest about transplanting plants. First of all, once you put them outside, you're going to want to harden them off, and basically all that amounts up to is putting them outside for during the daylight hours and bringing them inside for a couple of days, and they'll harden the stems and the roots and basically acclimate the plant to the outside, whereas everything I have here is of course inside. Now, lights I'm using, as I've mentioned in other videos, are the CFL lights. These are 6500K. They are in the daylight spectrum, and they do pretty good for starting seedlings. Now, as we look at my seedling tray, you can see the end result. These are planted directly into the pots. That isn't going necessarily by my method, but I need just a few more. So I put those 3 in the pots there. I picked out my 3 best cherry tomatoes and transplanted them. Now, I have these extras just in case these don't take, I can just scrap the pot and use one of these other cherry tomatoes, which will work just fine. And here's the tomatillos that I have done that way. I've got some great specimens here. A little micro view. As you can see, it's not bad. Matter of fact, it has one good leaf and another one forming on that's going to be kept on the plant. And of course I have my these are going to be jalapeno pepper plants right here, and they're growing just fine in the paper pot maker. And I can just pick these up, dig a little hole in my bucket that I put them in, and set pot and all directly straight down into there. And most plants you can do this with. I'm going to let these remain in here to about the 1st of April, and then by then they should be big and strong enough up to start setting outside to harden off for a couple of days. And of course at that point I'll be able to keep them outside. Our climate is outside is of course North Alabama, and about March 1st it's probably about, April 1st is about the first time, assuming that it's after the last frost, that you can generally put plants outside and expect them to take off well. And I'll just give a brief go through of my garden here that I have inside. Of course I have the hanging tube CFL lights here, and this is going to be a less variety here that's going pretty good, and another one here, and I've actually ate some of the less off of it so it doesn't look as big as what it should look at this point, because I've of course ate some of it. And of course you have the cauliflower here that's growing pretty good up underneath the CFL tube lights, as well as the broccoli, which is going tremendously well. And of course, like I say, those will be ready to go outside also around the 1st of April. And basically what I'm going to do is follow these plants that I've planted here. Now I've already pre-planted these, all 15. And I'll be doing a follow-up video on these particular plants and transplanting them into the pots. I'll make a small video on that. And we'll just follow them from starting the seed into the paper pot and then hardening off outside, and then we'll just have a small video showing their good growth outside. But anyway, thanks for watching my video.